So this is a space that is created for you, inspired by you, to discuss a really amazing opportunity that is coming up on July 28th, called the Crowning Called Mentoring Conference, and I'm here with my beautiful wife, Kimberly Muze.
And this is my husband, Casey Muze. He is the one who will be running Crowned and Called for all of your young men. And I'm going to apologize to the audience. I have a list of questions on my phone, so I'm not being disrespectful. I'm making sure I don't forget anything. So we'll just start with, tell us what Crowned and Called is and what makes this workshop different from everything else out there.
So Crowned and Called is mentorship for the ages 13 to 22, and that's a wide age gap. I have a heart for that age gap, really, because it's a comprehensive season of transitions for boys to men, right? Because we talk about elementary to junior high, we talk about junior high to high school, then we talk about high school to college, whether it's junior college, university, or if there's no college at all, it's high school to the work field, right? And then we talk about 22. What that looks like is post-college, maybe to another season of college, to entrepreneurship, or directly to the business world. And what makes it different is this specific mentorship will address mental health as well as the physical needs of goal setting.
So really important stages of life for young men as they're developing and addressing the whole young man.
Whole thing, whole body, right? Yeah.
So why launch this now? Why is this the moment for young men to be called higher?
Because this is the moment that my higher power, God, Buddha, Allah, Jehovah, the trees that blow, part me. This is my mental health paralysis kicking in to make sure that everybody is accounted for, right? Everybody is accounted for, right? If you're Christian, if you're not Christian, this is a place for you, right? This is a place that's created out of love to give to you, to everybody, right? Every young man, right? And so this is the time that God has instructed me to say, it's time. So truly, my discerning heart of listening and having constant conversations with God, that lets me know that right now is the time. Right.
So you already said it's ages 13 to 22 and your reasons why. Do you have any concerns about, that's kind of a big age gap, like having 13-year-olds and 22-year-olds in the same space?
Yeah, it is. It's a huge age gap, and I've addressed those concerns by directly organizing my mental facilitation of what it will look like to be a part of Crowned and Called, where the sections will break off and we will have a section for specific age groups at a time to be isolated with one another, but then also come together and learn from the older men that are older than them being present. So the really cool part about Crowned and Called is it just doesn't take place at the day of the conference. What it really is we have Crowned and Called sessions with me, one-on-one sessions over Zoom leading up to the conference, as well as during the year, right? Seasonal progression or seasonal transitions is what it is, right? And so what will happen is the individuals that have been with me for one-on-one sessions this summer prior to the conference will be present with the conference. So it's a continuation of growth and fellowship.
Okay. So 22-year-olds shouldn't feel like, I don't want to go hang out with a bunch of 13-year-olds.
No, they should come in and get fed.
When you think about young men today, what challenges are they facing that this workshop addresses head on?
The idea of being silent, because they don't know who to look to for the concerns and matters of their heart, or things that are just causing them to be stuck and not having progression identified and not having a plan for it, whether it's mentally or whether it's physically, right? Not having a game plan for life. But that comes with not having someone to really talk it out, right? Specifically, we're talking about single mothers that have sons, is really important to get there, because this quote is really important to me, and it is babies are raised to be boys, but then who raised them and transitions them into men? And so that space is voided, right? And so we're creating that space for them to answer those questions that they may have about who is important for me to look to. How do I identify that person? Because really, like, if there's no identification of what it looks like to identify the right person to speak to, then you end up speaking to the wrong person and then continuing to find the wrong people. So the redirection happens.
What I'm hearing you say is like developing healthy masculinity rather than being stuck in silence and not knowing what to do or where to go.
No doubt. Yeah.
I definitely agree that is something our society needs right now.
Yeah.
On both sides of the coin.
Yeah. On all sides of the coin.
Healthy masculinity and femininity. So.
Yeah.
What happens at the workshop? Can you walk us through the experience?
Fun. A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
It's not going to be all serious and digging into difficulties, huh?
I mean, some of that, but really a lot of fun. A lot of writing. Not a whole lot of writing, but a lot of instruction on what continuing to write looks like. And writing is so important. And I know men are like, I don't want to write. I get it. I've been there. Sometimes I still don't want to write, but it's a really useful tool to backtrack and understand what happened in my mind when this response to this scenario was happening in my life, right? And a flourish of other things as well. Just, it allows you to go back to the question at hand. What can be expected in a Crown and Call workshop, right? Championing you for identifying who you're called to be. Now, here's the kicker, right? Is we don't work on finding your calling, because your calling is already had, right? We work on creating and developing you into being who you're called to be, right? So it's not a finding thing. We work on identifying what it looks like to be audacious and create who you're supposed to be.
I can't think of the word right now that I want. We have all these like pop words that come up, and authenticity is the one that gets
Yeah.
What does it look like to live in your authentic self is something that is very much trending right now.
Yeah.
And yet we don't know how to do it.
No, and we have such false representation of what it looks like to do that it ends up being so detrimental. But also we don't know that that's there.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know any better.
It sounds like it's going to be very valuable.
I'm excited. It's going to be awesome. It truly is, yeah.
So it's not going to be just motivational speaking or writing. You're going to use rhythm and drumming as well.
No drumming. Rhythm will be incorporated. We'll be doing some breath work. We'll be doing some other exploratory soul deep diving, right? And so no drumming will be involved. And I know a lot of times it's really hard to understand that I will do something that does not involve drumming. But understand that my whole entire life is not drumming. Actually, that's kind of weird too. But in reality, one of the purposes and one of the cool points is allowing you to discover how to find your own rhythm and purposely dictate your own cadence, right? So no drumming, but rhythm, all the rhythm, because everything is rhythm and everything is time. But that's a me thing, and so it's what I always advocate for, right? Yeah.
So you're incorporating that, sounds like, to stay true to yourself and who you are.
I mean, I can't give you instruction and not come from my true self. That's the whole purpose, right? Yeah.
So if I was a mom, why does my son need to be in that room?
Because they get deeper perspective of what it looks like to influence how they think and influence their creative process and think outside the box and deep dive and create their own well-being. And that's something that boys don't get.
Rather than being subject to, like, peer influence, it sounds like.
Yeah, the world in itself, right? Peer influence, or in this day that exists now, social media influence, right? So yeah.
Teaching them to stand in their own strength. I love it. Yeah. If someone wants to sign up, how do they do it, and what's the cost?
So I'm going to make this easy. This is actually so easy for you. So the city of Tyler has been so gracious enough to come at me from different sponsorships and partnerships. It's absolutely free now. It does not cost you anything. So the easiest way to get signed up for it is to text the word mentor to 936-234-9470, and you'll speak directly to me about what that looks like.
That's really cool. I didn't know that you had so many sponsorships that it was free for everybody.
Yeah. All of that happened earlier today, actually.
The wife is even learning new things here.
Yeah, she saw one text message yesterday about a cool sponsorship, but she was completely oblivious to it all being covered this year.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So how can businesses, churches, or other mentors step in and sponsor young men?
Yeah. If anybody in the city of... So another thing that I want to answer that you have not asked yet, and maybe you... I don't know if it's on your list. So I have gotten asked why this exists in Tyler. It exists in Tyler because I live in Tyler. But I'm also really native to all of East Texas, right? And so this is also Longview, Texas, come into this, right? Lean in. Lufkin, Texas, lean into this. Nacogdoches, Texas, lean into this. And all of East Texas, lean in, right? Because in truth, it starts here, but we're going to transition, and all of you will be served eventually. This is where we start because this is where I live in the first year that this exists, right? So how businesses can get involved is simply email me at cmuze@avenuespeak.info.
And get some young men hooked up with mentoring services.
Yeah. Pay for journals, pens, highlighters. I need it all, man.
What is your biggest hope for the young men who walk out of that room on July 28th?
That they feel confident, but also that they've learned how to be confident. The easiest thing in the world is for a conference to be present and people feel so uplifted and they feel so great afterwards, but then they wake up tomorrow and they realize they don't have any application of how they feel. So if you can feel good but also leave with a game plan of how to execute, that's what I need. That's what I desire.
I love that. Is there anything else that you want to share with everybody about Crowned and Called?
It happens July 28th. That's real soon. Come out. Yeah, it happens July 28th. That's real soon. Oh, Good Vibes Nutrition. It's at Good Vibes Nutrition. I don't think we've talked about the fact that it's at Good Vibes Nutrition, which is downtown Tyler, Texas. So yeah, that's a super cool partnership, man. That's a cool place for sure. Yeah.
And I just want to share, as his wife, there's not a better man out there to be mentoring your sons, your young men, teaching them healthy masculinity, motivation, groundedness, all of those things. I live with him every day and can attest to the fact that he is the same in private as he is out in public. So send him your sons. He'll take good care of them.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Thank you for your time. Thank you for allowing me to create this space for you and your sons and the rest of the community. Thank you for leaning in and hearing my heart.